my Sports and Society final. So we're going to be answering the question, how is the concept of sports and play relevant to our individual, national, and global identity? So we're going to break down each one, individual, national, and global, and talk about them. So the first one is, how is sports and play relevant to my individual identity? So as noted in week 1, humans have played in all stages of their life. It's a natural process. As babies, we started playing with our feet and hands. As children, we started playing more difficult games like hide and seek and tag. And as we adults, we've kind of attained the skills of problem solving. So we've started actually playing sports and strategic games. So the ability to participate in sports and play draws us in because of 3 main elements that we want to talk about. And those 3 elements are freedom, separation, and uncertainty, which I have gotten from week 1. So to kind of dive deeper into those three things, the 3 elements, I want to relate each one of them to how it relates to my individual identity. So freedom, it gives a sense of individual confidence. So the freedom to be able to to play a sport and to be on a team, it gives you that confidence to put yourself out there. Separation, it gives a sense of division between life and sports. I mean, you see a lot of athletes, they do sports because they want to kind of get outside of their life. Like if whatever may be going on, really difficult situation in their life, they start, like an example, they start running because it relieves stress for them. So it's really a division between life and sports because it kind of gives that therapeutic place that they can go to relieve their stress, or any reason really. Uncertainty, because you never know what could happen. You never know what could happen. Like the best team could possibly win, or they could lose. Like you never know what could happen. So the answer is, how does this relate to my individual identity? Is, well, it gives confidence to our lives by the freedom it creates. It can mold how we see challenges, like winning and losing, and it remains a natural part of development. So the next question is, how is sports and play relevant to national identity? So as a nation, it's people that have common ethnic, race, and cultural beliefs inhabiting a territory. So how has sports and play contributed to the national identity? Well, because of sports and play nationally, we've assimilated of multiple races. This can be seen in history by the racial bargain. It led to African Americans being a part of white athletics that probably would not have happened if we didn't have sports and play. Jim Crow led to civil rights movement. That's a huge thing. That's how we've become more assimilated with the African American culture, is because of the Jim Crow. Next thing is the gender equality and recognition. Some examples of this would be Serena Williams. She's a huge icon for women. She's strong and beautiful, and previously, before her, was Gertrude Erdrell, which was week 4, both of them. They gained recognition for her talent in swimming. As well as the Ladies Professional Golf Association and the WNBA. Those 3 things have developed and have been a really, really good thing, especially for women in this time, as we've gained more confidence in ourselves, and we're putting ourselves out there. So how is this relevant to our national identity? So the answer to this is, it's relevant because women have gained recognition, and that's huge. I mean, that's a huge step for us. And America has become more assimilated with many countries, which is also huge, which is a great thing. I mean, without different people, different races, different cultures, we wouldn't have a competition as we do now. And there's a lot of more elements that I could talk about later. So how is sports and play relevant to our global identity? So we're talking about globally, all over the world. How is it relevant? Well, we can see how it's relevant because we've gotten certain sports from it, like cricket and soccer. So cricket, it started in Britain, and it's reached Pakistan, Australia, the British Empire, and in sometimes a little bit in America, not a huge amount in America, but we still, some of us play cricket. But the main point here is that it's gone to many places. It's been very transculturated, and that this is an example from week 2, from the reading in week 2. So yeah, without that, we would not have had cricket today, as well as soccer, which is in week 2, has reached across the world, become tropicalized and transculturated. It's called soccer in some places and football in others. So what can we gather about these sports have affected our global identity? So how is it relevant? The answer. Well, without these places around the world, we would not have the sports we have, like cricket and soccer. And there's a lot of dances too. As I was in the videos, there was multiple that we would focus on a certain sport each week, and there was a lot of different ones that that were specific to a specific region in the world or culture, and it was super cool reading that and like watching it, because without that we wouldn't have the difference of American sports and their sports, like globalization, like to see different parts of the world in our sports in play. Each culture brings its own traditions and values along with the culture it is shared in the world. So those are how it's relevant to global, national, and individual identity. And that's the end of my project. So hope you enjoyed.